Ollie got just a frantic call from a lady. I'm in one of the fancy neighborhoods. She said, Ollie, you have to help. My husband is missing. I said, okay. Where, when did you see him last? He said, well, I saw him last night. I'm a bit of an early riser, and he stays up late. And mind you, it was like 8 a.m. I said, but he's not in any of the normal places. He's not in our bedroom. He's not in the couch downstairs. I checked all the bedrooms. I checked every room that had a couch. I've checked, I feel like, the entire house. And both cars are still here. And the weirdest thing is, all the doors are locked. I mean, I guess he could have his key, but there's no note, there's no nothing, and he's not answering his cell phone. When I called his cell phone is in the kitchen, charging. He always takes his phone, and his key is right there next to it. So come to think of it, he couldn't have locked all the doors. It's the strangest thing. It's like he's just up and disappeared. I said, all right, well, I can be there in about half an hour. I said, great, thank you so much. So I got there, and a loud ka-chunk with the lock opening as the lady let him in. She locked it again. So I want to keep everything as close to the same as possible. Because it's very disturbing. I don't know where he's gone. I said, all right, why don't you give me a quick tour of the place, of the house. And I'll start looking. Just so I can get my bearings of the house. I said, thanks, I'm so worried about him. So here on the bottom floor, we have the living room, the library. They were walking through that rooms as they did this. There's a bathroom there off of the library, and then there's a dining room, there's a game room, and then there's a kitchen, and then there's a hallway, and then there's like a closet. Well, it's actually a pretty big closet, but coat closet. Got some sporting equipment stuff down there, and then I guess we can do the basement next, down at the end of the hall here. Then we went down to the basement. The basement's much simpler, it's mostly open. There's the boiler room is in here. And that's where, the HVAC and the water heater, all the things like that are in here. And then out here, there's kind of two main sections of the basement. There's the workshop there in the back, which you can see, and then the rec room here in the front. But there's no walls or anything. So there's the bathroom down here, but I checked that, and all the doors were locked, even this basement door. This basement door is really handy because you can bring stuff in and out of the shop, but it goes out to the backyard. But that was locked too. I said, all right. I guess upstairs next. So they went upstairs. I said, upstairs there are 6 bedrooms, but we have 2 of them set up as an office and then a study. An office for him and a study for me. And then we have our bedroom there, and then the kids' bedrooms, although they're really guest bedrooms now. The kids are grown. And then it leads out, there's a porch there, like over there's a porch on the 2nd floor. It's really cool. It's really nice. We like to sit out there, read books or whatever. And Ollie looked up and said, there's an attic here. And, oh, the attic. I didn't look in the attic. Oh, I hope he's not stuck in the attic. And she pulled down the cord. I said, I'll go up and check. And the little one's kind of like at Alice's house where you pull the cord down and like a little ladder comes down with the door. So Ollie went up and he pulled the chain, and it may have been the most organized attic Ollie had ever seen. He turned on a light, and everything was in boxes in neat little rows or tubs. Some stuff stored on the ground. And yet there's no people there. There's nobody. I looked behind the boxes and everything, and there was nobody up there. So he went back down, turned off the light, and went back down. Excuse me. I said, yeah, nobody up there. So they closed that back up. I looked in the bathroom, they looked in all the closets. I said, well, I guess sometimes he doesn't come to bed because he doesn't want to wake you, right? I said, yes, how'd you know? I said, oh, I can tell. I've known a lot of people where the husband and the wife, or one spouse and another spouse in any case, had kind of different schedules, and yeah, usually the late sleeper, sometimes sleeps somewhere else to not bother the spouse. Where does he usually sleep when he does that? So, usually it's downstairs in the living room because he plays his video games there. And he said, so you said that on the back side of the house, the basement door leads out to the yard. I said, yes, it does. So on the back of the house, there's the ground floor in the front of the house is almost like a second floor. In the back of the house, it sort of the ground slopes away. It's kind of a partial earth shelter. It's a really nice setup, actually. I said, all right, so let's go down and look in there again, see if there's anything we missed. And they looked around in there, and I noticed that there were two big windows on the one side, and then opposite the windows was the wall leading out to the hallway, so no windows there. And then if you were standing with your back to the windows, to the left toward the street, those windows, they were regular windows and they were open, but to the right, going toward the backyard, it was these big French doors. And they had blinds set inside the doors, and the blinds were closed. The doors were shut. I said, I noticed those are French doors. She said, oh, yes. Yeah, in nice weather anyway, we can open those up into the house here. And then there's like a little balcony. It's not a full-on deck. I said, how deep a sleeper is your husband? I said, oh, he's a very deep sleeper. He can sleep through just about anything. I envy him, really. Once he gets down to sleep, he has trouble getting to sleep sometimes. But once he gets down to sleep, he'll sleep a good 8, 9, even 10 hours, unless something wakes him, like an alarm clock or me or one of the kids or something. And if he's a late sleeper, then the light doesn't bother him. I said, oh, no, he can sleep. Sometimes he'll take naps right in the middle of the lawn, in a chair, but in the middle of the afternoon. Yeah, no, the light doesn't bother him. I said, then I've got an idea of one place we haven't looked. He walked over, and he jiggled the handle of the door to the French door out toward the backyard, and it was locked. I said, oh, hold on, it's kind of a funny one. And she reached over there's a fireplace, and on the mantle was a key. And she put the key in and turned it and opened up the handle. And there, as soon as they opened up, was a man that Ollie assumed and was correct. There was the husband. Asleep, dressed in all of his clothes, just lying on the floor of the little balcony there. It was like 4 feet wide and maybe 8 feet long, plenty of room, and there was a little carpet there. It didn't look like the most comfortable place to sleep, but apparently it was good enough. She slapped her forehead. Oh, no. Are you serious? And she started to laugh. Well, with that sound, husband began to stir. He said, hey, good, glad you're here. Said, you locked yourself out? I said, yeah, I let the door close behind me. She said, yeah, and you didn't have your key. I said, oh, yeah, of course I didn't have my key. I said, I don't quite understand. How did you get stuck outside? And the wife said, well, you see this door, I had to go get the key, right? This door, when you close it, it latches and locks automatically. Like you actually have to, if you don't want it to lock, you have to just leave it open or prop it open. It's always locked when it's closed. So when you hang out on the balcony, you just leave the doors open. I said, yeah. Yeah, I came out here on the balcony to just kind of, take in the night air. And, yeah, stray breeze blew the doors shut on me. I guess I must have had one of the front windows open or something, I don't know. But this breeze came and just blew the door shut. As soon as it shut, I knew I was stuck. And I tried to jiggle the handle. I tried to get your attention, but you must have been fast asleep. So I hung out for a while, and I'd brought my book out with me, so I read for a little bit, although it was hard to read in the dark. And then eventually I just said, I can sleep here. That's exactly what I did. I said, oh, honey, I was so worried. You can see I brought someone in to help. I said, yeah, I see that. Hi, I'm Richard. And I said, oh, hi, I'm Ollie the Octopus. I'm a private eye. And he started to laugh. You hired a private eye to find me. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm sorry if I worried you, hon. I'm just glad you're okay. I guess I must have been sleeping sound. I said, well, the bedroom's on the whole other side of the house. I could have climbed down, I guess, but it's kind of a long drop. Well, in any case, Ollie, thanks for letting me back into my house. And they all had a laugh, and that was the case of the missing husband.